bonjour, comment allez-vous?
Ça va bien. So this one will be only in French, right?
That'll be a challenge for us, my dear. So welcome to the Museum of Graffiti's Daily Artist Talk. I am so thrilled to have you on. And before we start, I would like to, for our audience, I would like to read a little bit of background about you, okay?
Sure.
Because you're one half of the infamous 123 clan. And style is the message since 1992. You're based in Montreal, Canada. And since 2007, 123 Clan has become a graffiti crew that's world-renowned, founded by the French duo Cien and Mrs. KLOR here. Tireless, effervescent, often ironic, and a creative force. Cien and KLOR have been doing their art for 2 decades in the hip-hop galaxy and well beyond. Precursors of the style mixing of the art of graffiti and graphic design to a new graphic aesthetic, a new artistic school which will give nobility to contemporary art movement that is graffiti art, also known as urban art. The Victorial enabled them to export on multiple supports without any more than, without any geographical constraint. Their motto since 1991, when street knowledge meets technology and graffiti art melts with graphic design, sums up perfectly this fusion of the two disciplines in the service of their own style. And so true to speak about the unique style that you both have really mastered for yourself. And so we're going to explore that with you today, but more importantly, we're going to focus on you for today's conversation. So what I want to do is turn everyone's attention to the early days, right? To when you were just getting started, right? And it seems to me that since the beginning, style was the message, was something that was very important to you in terms of graffiti writing. So let's talk about the early days and your first influences and why you even started writing graffiti.
Yeah, first, like the reasons that why because we're beginning together with Cien, like beginning painting graffiti, it was because of hip-hop culture. And like we really love like the peace, unity, respect from this culture, like each one teach one, family thing. And like everybody has something special to develop with his own creation. That's why we always say style is a message. It's come from graffiti writing, because for me, the goal of each writer is to develop his own style.
So now, was this in France, or was this you were developing this in these concepts in Canada?
No, like I was born and raised in France, and I was in France to 2007. So yeah, it was in France. So it was far away from US. So we have like no image at all of what is graffiti writing, just an idea, and we just like did it.
I'm sure people may be questioning, have you guys been in love since you were teenagers?
Yeah.
Is that the story? Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, that's the story, but I'm like such a great girl. Like it's like a crack. If you test it, you fall in love forever. So that's why we stick together.
And so I would imagine that both of you are teaching each other, but in France, who were you being influenced by?
By USA, like all the New York style. That's why our first trip was to visit New York after like working 2 summertime in a store. And yeah, like New York school was like a big influence for us.
And in France, who were your crewmates? What crew were you a part of? And let's give those guys a little shout out.
It was very, very funny because I always have like some very funny crew names. Like my first crew was the TAB, which means the Atomic Boys. After this, I entered also in KD, which was at time King Destroy. So, and it was funny because like, it was like so for boy, even like the crew name was like just masculine.
What was it difficult for you being a girl amongst all the boys?
No, it's difficult for the boys that I'm a girl.
Did you feel you had to prove yourself
No, I have nothing to prove. I mean, like for me, graffiti writing is something unisex, and like we have the same power. No, I have nothing to prove to boys, to girls, to anyone. I just do
Yeah,
what I.
and you've painted with some of the best of them. You know, Cope, Dime, Lumet, Cien, of course.
Yeah,
Was
but the
it?
thing is like at that time, like the graffiti world was very small. We were all at the beginning, and like we were all connected. It was not like just like famous people or whatever. It was just friends.
So let me ask you something. Why choose to focus on style writing?
Because I'm shy. Because like my first cruise, the Atomic Boys, was a hip hop cruise. So we have like some breakers, some MC, some DJ, but I was not okay to be in front of people on stage or rapping or painting in the nighttime, in the wall. Nobody look at you. It's way better. And that's what I like. Just let something and people don't know where it's come from.
You know what I love, KLOR, when we spoke earlier, you said, I'm not a lady, I'm a style writer.
Yeah.
And that is a powerful statement, especially since you can back it up. And you mentioned before, you know, style has no identity or gender, but there is a preconception, right? If they don't know you, they're gonna. Do you find that they assume that you're a woman because of your style, because your style is big, it's aggressive, it's advanced? Do you sense that there's a bias?
The thing is, like when I first met graffiti writing, I fell in love with this. And like, I want to play the game with the same rules than everybody. And I don't want like to play with like butterfly or whatever. It's like too cheesy for me. And I just want like to have the same impact with letters than what I love. So I don't make any difference with a girl and a boy who do graffiti letters. For me, like we have the same possibilities and we have like the same, everything is equal. Like the thing is like art is maybe the only thing like people can be totally equal. Like you don't need muscle to paint. If you can fight in a yard, you can run fast, but you can fight too. You know, it's like, it's not like, I don't know,
Did you
like
ever get
because,
into a fight over graffiti?
no.
Okay.
No, they always say, "Oh no, I don't fight with a girl." I say, "Okay, if you want, but not me."
I have to say, I've always been very, very impressed with your painting skills and your style writing, the diversity in your production. And I'm focusing on you because I think both of you and your husband are so incredibly talented. But it is important to kind of focus on your talents for this conversation as we start, because really they're exceptional and you've been at it for quite some time. Excuse me, quite some time. But also, you're a studio painter. And I pulled up one of the quotes that I liked from you. It says, "It's much better to be the first all original you than to be the second Picasso." Uh, this drive for originality, where does that come from? What is it about you? Is that something that derived from hip hop or the competition with writers?
Yeah, exactly. That all come like from the beginning, like from hip hop culture. Like try to be different, try to be unique, not like to be only in competition with the other one, but just for yourself. And I'm really think like everybody's different and everybody has something to explore. So that's why like why we love letters is because we can always work on it, make them evolve. Like this kind of art for me is like something like very full of evolution during the time compared like to maybe realistic painting, and it's something come from you, and it's like I always say like I make my letters swinging because I have to work together. Like the colors is something very cool too, and the good thing in canvas painting concerning the colors is the fact that I can create them compared like
But
to
you're not
graffiti.
limited. You're not limited to letters, which I like because you have an established aesthetic and style and interest in very strong graphic design. Where does that come from? Did you study graphic design, perhaps?
No. The thing is, like, graffiti writing is graphic design because it's like you have a full place that you have like to mise en page, layout. Thank you. I have my translator just over there. And the thing is, like, you have to put a logo, which is your name, make it people talk about the next day. It's like publicity somehow. And the thing is, like, when you focus on letters, then you jump on logo style. It makes sense for me. It was just like the evolution. And the thing is, like, when we were 16, at that time, there is no way to make money with graffiti writing. I remember when I was going to the university, if I said somebody that I'm a graffiti writer, maybe they can kick me out. So that's why, like, we more focused to make money with graphic design and keep graffiti writing just for fun, just for keep it away from the dirty money sometimes.
Right. But in terms of your studio painting, you deviate, you know, in terms of in some of the paintings anyway, into very clearly these very well painted, graphic design illustrations that are quite incredible because they're so vectorized. I mean, you love vector design. It's obvious. Yeah. That's a signature. Tell me about the vector paintings.
The thing is, like, as you can see, like, all our graffiti letters is very sharp. We were at the beginning very inspired by Japan, you know, like their style, how they clean, how they're sharp. And the thing is, like, everything in graphic design is used in our wall, and everything from our wall is used in our graphic design. And we always, like, each different thing brings something in the other one. So we always mix everything. So even on a wall, I remember at the beginning, when we did begin to introduce some graphic design in our wall, people say, that's no more graffiti writing. And everybody was hate on it, but I don't care. Today, everybody's doing it. So.
And so in terms of the graphic design, the illustration design that you guys have been developing, where, you know, everyone has a point of reference. What was the point of reference for this type of illustration for you?
Many, like there is Neville Brody, which like developed a lot of typographic, and he was explaining in an article that there is no limit to be legible, just like considers the letters like an art thing. Who else? Oh, oui. Merci, Futura.
That's okay. That's fine.
You know me.
No, that's fine. You know, because
like,
it's always interesting. It's always interesting in terms of even when we think about style writing. You know, everyone has a point of reference, right? Something that has carried over traditionally, right? Because it's kind of, I always say, you know, what's done today is tomorrow's inheritance. And just like what you're doing now, somebody else at some point, like maybe 5-10 years from now, will be like, you know what, KLOR, you know, her work and 123 Clan influenced my work. That said, I want to talk about 123 Clan. I want to talk about you and your husband. So can we bring him in?
Hey.
There you go.
What's up, guys?
What's up? So thank you for joining us, and thank you for both of you for contributing so much to the culture. And
thank you.
And again, this story is not just a creative story; it's a love story, which I appreciate. No, it isn't. Well, you had us fooled. But I want to go to how you guys established a working relationship when you were younger, right? And where was the I guess the mutual agreement in terms of, okay, either you do this or you do that, or we both do this together? Where were the boundaries in terms of how you guys were doing work in production?
Well, like Laura said earlier, it all started because of graffiti, so it's very easy. Basically, we have like a common background and we all jam on the wall, you know. I think more it goes, more we even collaborate on each other piece nowadays. Things we were doing when we were young, because maybe because back in the days you want to prove what you can do by yourself, you know, like, oh yeah, I can do this, I can push my own, I can challenge my own boundaries, you know. But of course we help each other. So because we grew up together, our style grew up together at the same time. So we like to say it's not her or my style, it's our style, because each each time we find something, it's for both of us. So if she find out like a new color, a new combo, a new FX, it's cool, you know, if the other one use it, you know, and vice versa. So there's definitely no boundaries. It's more like as soon as we approve, when it's done together, then it's done. That's the way we work actually.
I have a sense that KLOR is very, how would I say?
Take care.
Yeah, you're very, I would imagine you're very competitive, and that perhaps, I mean, have you ever got into that situation? I mean, as most writers who paint with each other, hey, I burned you on this one. Oh no, you know, that back and forth.
No, no. No. We are fair play. Like many times, I'm like, I don't know, on this one, your piece is way better than mine. It's just like, oh, you're nice. I'm like, I'm not nice. Like, this is true.
Yeah,
so,
this is true.
But sometimes I win too, you know. So, but I mean, that's the coolest things about when you're a couple somehow, because there's the competition. Because at the end, it's our piece, you know, like that
Right.
piece that you're showing here. The only goal we have, like, by the way, we did that one with our son, Ike, on the top, you know, on top of us. The only goal we have, like, even when we paint with friends, like Cobb or whoever they are, you know, it's to come up with some nice piece together, you know. It's not like to burn somebody else or what. That's what we love about graffiti, and that's what KLOR tried to explain earlier too, you know, about style is a message. It's more like, yeah, push yourself and challenge yourself, but we don't want to burn anybody, be a reference, or try to be the best. Like, we give our best, but we don't want to be the best.
So outside of the style writing, when you look at a mural like this, KLOR, who handles the big graphic design of doing characters and background? Is that an equal split?
Yeah, it's like, it's maybe hard to understand for, let's say, solo artists, because I mean, we like ants, our team, you know, we always like go like that. So maybe it's we should do more time lapse, and then you can understand more our process, because we always step back on each other piece, and both of us not argue but give comments on the piece. Like, sometimes I would disturb KLOR, like, oh, what do you think? I'm stuck in there. Like, what should I do? And she can jump on my piece, like, and I can do the same thing on her piece, because at the end, what counts is the final result of it, you know, once again. So, and we're a family. I mean, you have to help each other. I mean, we are the same way with our son. I mean, by that it's not that we're just helping him, you know, because he's new to the scene, but
How old
he's
is
very
he?
good in color, and he also can jump on my piece, and that's fine, you know.
How old is your son?
He will turn 20 next week.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And we have a daughter too, and she paints with us too. I mean, our kids grew up in this community, and we're so fortunate, you know, to grow up with this graph community, like being able to travel and meet people. Once again, like we never considered graffiti like a real battle, or to become the best, the most famous. We were just starving about meeting like our childhood heroes, you know, like Futura or Cope, you know, and we're so fortunate that we can consider and call these guys as friends. Same thing with Slick and so many people. Actually, Mickey.
And there is so many
You guys
friends.
are so many. And
So I
that's the
have a
beauty
mommy
of it.
question. Do you worry about your kid going out late at night bombing and the risks involved?
That's their
No.
lives. They do what they want.
No. I mean, that's all good with me. I mean, if our kids get caught for painting by night illegally, I mean, that's okay. You know, it's totally not a crime.
It's not murder.
Like, yeah.
Art by reminder says you guys are the parents of the year.
No, but I mean, for real, like if you're taking risk to give the best of yourself, I mean, we understand this, you know, so we even like love new generation. Like I think graffiti never been that good at how it is today, you know, and it's really funny to see like the new style. They name our stuff anti-style, but it's not anti-style, it's fake ugly, you know, because it looks like it's ugly, but it's not, you know. It's like the people who handle that style, they're very skilled. But for sure, for the common people, if they compare to like beautiful pictures or realistic mural, you know, it looks like dirty or not handled, you know, but it's not. So even if my son or my daughter were caught for graffiti, I'd be proud of them. Or maybe not, because they get caught.
Well, one of the things that I appreciate is that, again, the graffiti community has known you and grown up with you as a couple. You know, you send out a very positive message to the community, and that you not only just through your works, but your personality and your goodwill are great contributors. And you also, I have to say this too, you know, I was really happy to see you take part in the wet paint show at the Museum of Graffiti. It was a real treat. It was a treat to tell people, hey, these two artists are a married couple who have been active for so many years, and they're important in this culture. So just to ask you a question, you know, about the idea of this culture having a museum, was that something that you guys even considered as part of your, you know, the culture and your experience as writers?
Oh, okay. Or like back in the days, if like you just say me this thing will happen, I will just answer you, are you kidding?
Yeah, no, but for real, I mean, we're so fortunate like to be part of this community, because there's so many
Talented
things
people. Yeah.
happen to us that we would like not even dreamed about, you know. Like I'm thinking back in the days when we were looking like yeah, I have so many examples. Like we're fortunate to have like so many friends that now we can count them as friends. You know, it was just a dream, you know, back in the days, you know. So and now being in a graffiti of museum of graffiti, that's even crazier, because we couldn't imagine that, you know, like when we started together. I mean, sounds like really weird, but we have to explain to people how was Europe back then, you know, like let's say late 80s. Rap hip hop was super underground, especially from where we come from, because we're not from Paris originally, we're from the north side. So we had nothing, no graffiti, no hip hop, nothing. So just a few of us that were active back then. We even called each other activists, and we used to hook up to each other just by the way we were dressed, you know, and just to wear a baseball hat, you know, get some kicks, fat laces, or a painted jacket. You knew like that guy was into hip hop culture. So it was really hard to get your hands on stuff, you know, and it was magic in the same time. We had nothing. We had to make it happen by ourselves, you know. And the few we had, you know, just like a vinyl from the Beastie Boys, Public Enemy, it was like, yeah, it was making like the whole year, you know. We would just like for 1 year listening the same album, like on and on, you know, and just sketching all the time. So,
And all those influences have been carried over in your career and in your brand and everything you've done. And so, Sian, I want to thank you for jumping in on this, because I want to get back to KLOR and talk to her about design and some of the, from graffiti to graphic design. I know you can completely answer all the questions, but this is about her today. So I appreciate you, and I hope to see you very soon.
Thank you so much, man. Thanks for having us.
Of course.
Okay. En français maintenant.
So as I was saying, I want to go from graffiti to graphic design, and how you guys have developed and implemented an aesthetic, a language that of course extends from what you were saying, your love of hip hop culture and graffiti culture. And so tell us about 123 Clan and banditism, because there's two things that work in parallel in your universe.
Yeah. So 123 Clan, as you know, like it's our crew. Just maybe I can explain you where it's come from. As Sian just explained, that we come from a very small city in the north of France, and the thing, it was just two of us. So we created a crew because we were in love. And like we decided to call us 123 Kings because we were the king of our city. It's easy to be a king when you're the only one. So, but after this, we found this too much arrogance, and because we have family, even the other member, like we have very near friends, like Dean, Spear, Scam, and like we always have like a family mentality in 123 clan. That's why we jump on clan. Banditism is a bandit, and 1SM is like 123. So it's bandit 123 clan normally. And the thing is, like, when we see how, like, the streetwear industry is, like, Stussy is no more owned by Sean, and we don't want, like, to lose 123 clan over a day. But you know what? We will never let nobody enter in banditism. So it was a joke at the beginning. We never think, like, to develop the brand, but nowadays
well, now you have a full-fledged creative studio, which you've been producing some amazing work for some really great clients outside of yourself. But you again, on that theme of balancing both, you do make 123 clan gear and banditism gear at the same time.
Yeah, but because the thing is, like, to have your own brand is like, it's a part of a freedom. The thing is, like, you're totally free to create whatever you want on when you want. And the good thing to be like a small brand is you can have it for the next month. You don't have like this like problems that big brands have, like to have the design and maybe 1 or 2 years later they release it. So that's why we create our brand. It was just because we are kids, you know, we wear all our gear, so we make it first for us.
And you know, it's interesting. You've done. I've never seen all the work you've done for Nike, but it seems they're a steady client for you.
Yeah, sure. Like the thing is, like brand like Nike, Adidas, or whatever, they not come from our like background, you know, and like they need to stay cool, and to stay cool, they need people like us to like give them a piece of authenticity. And the good thing, like for Nike, it's like we are also like graphic designer, and now we're working in streetwear for more than 25 years. So we know what we are talking about.
Yeah, I mean, this image here, we have your collaboration with Stussy, a well-established streetwear brand. I mean, and of course, you know, not limited to somebody else's brand, you kind of create kind of brands within your own brand, right? The Omiert.
Yeah, because like our own brand is like just like auto production, so we need to have some client to pay the bill. So, but we always have fun, like to create a logo or design for Nike, for Adidas, like. This was in 2007, and it was funny because like this sneakers was everywhere in Paris subway as posters. So for us, it was like so cool to have our name on the sneakers.
Yeah, it's like getting up, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. It was like you never allowed us to paint in your subway, and now you pay us to. And you pay Adidas to be everywhere. Thank you.
So let me ask you this, because I've also done a lot of graphic design projects and stuff like that. And the mindset that I had was that this is just another way of getting up. Yeah. I use a graffiti mindset for it. Do you do the same at all? Did you feel like that with the Paris advertising campaign?
No, like when we discovered, like back in the day, Illustrator, it was just a new tool, and like it will look like dinosaur, but at that time, like internet was totally virgin. Like a new city, we just want to spread into it. So we want like to be everywhere on the web, and that's why it was a very good tool and a very good game. And that's why we also like develop our own like first website. which was like just a playground. We just create, but it was just for ourselves. It was 123clan.com already. And like the funny story is one day, like Nike called us at our small apartment. At that time, we were like very young. We just have, you know, like this kind of student apartment with a room with your laptop, not laptop at that time. It was like a whole computer. They call you. I say, oh, it's a joke. He said, yeah, Nike's calling. I say, oh, it's a joke. Should be a friend. But my friend don't speak good English like all French people. And it was for a job. And we don't want to believe it. But when they were talking about the budget, we were like, stop and say nothing.
Of course, money talks, doesn't it?
So it's not a joke. And then I said nothing and say, okay, we can double. And then say, here it goes. Oh yeah, sure, we can beginning to talk. So, and that's how like our first client was Nike, and that's the beginning.
Excellent, because I was just going to follow up and ask you, when did you decide that you were going to go into servicing clients?
The thing is, we never decide. We're very lucky people. Like we never need to talk to any clients. They always come to us and we just select. So we are very blessed for that, because the good thing is like, because we develop our own style, and first our website, it was just like a program, like graffiti books that we used to have. And like they were like approaching us for a certain style. So it's almost like having like carte blanche always, almost. And like they just come to us because they want us. So it's easy to play with that after.
It's wonderful because it gives you the opportunity to explore other dimensions of your talents, both in advertising and of course the brand itself. And one of the things that I found that you sent that was really cool was that you went into the vinyl game. You started realizing your graphic design and your characters as objects.
Yeah.
How many of these have you done, and do you still produce these?
We just have like one of them, because they used to have like 5 colors, and like actually on Lean we just have like 20 greens left, that is. But like the toy was like so long process to make it. Maybe today I can find a better factory and they're more fast, but it was a long way to produce. So that's why we just make one actually. But today,
well, yeah, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, okay.
No, so one of the things I was going to say for those that are just joining us, we are speaking with the one and only KLOR from 123 Clan, and we're getting this incredible insight into how she came up as a graffiti writer, but also how her and her husband Cien have created this amazingly talented creative agency. And I wasn't aware how much work you guys done until I saw your book at the Museum of Graffiti shop. We always show it to people because it's just so inspiring, especially for young kids who are into these types of images. This book, tell me about it. Is it a full survey of everything you've done, or is it just a little insight into?
Oh no, in this book it's just 4 or 5 years, so it's 310 pages, and we just selected some work because we can put everything. Yeah, it's just because we are very productive, because I think we are very passionate, and like we try in this book like to like you can see, like from graffiti to graphic design, and graphic design back to graffiti again, and we try like to show but we have like so many more today. But the thing is, like, you can see like some clients work. Maybe if you go to the next slide, I think we have some different pictures.
Well, this is the one slide I have on the book, but but what's really interesting to me about the book is the diversity of both of clients and style that you guys afford your clients. I think you're freezing a little bit. Oh, there you go. You're back. Can you hear me? I can't hear you. I can't hear you. We'll reboot. We'll reboot. Friends, my apologies, bandwidth issues. Hopefully we can get her back on. Let's try that again. Hi.
Hey.
Perfect. We just had a quick reboot on that one.
I'm so sorry.
But yes, back to the book, and the survey of your talents and your journey so far. If this is only 4 years, are you thinking of yet another volume to add?
Yeah, we used to, but we should. But the thing is, like, because I also lay out all the book, because we are a bit like control freak with design. And like, it took me more than 6 months just to make it. So yes, I think we're gonna make a new one soon, but maybe we'll make like this time 4 different volumes, one for graphic design, one for graffiti writing. We don't know yet, because we have a lot of content, and we have like to think how to make it like in a good way. And we're always thinking to make it like for a good price, because we're always thinking of the people who support us. And the thing is, like, when you produce by yourself, it's always very expensive.
Yes.
And like, we want to keep it like affordable for people.
Well, one of the things I like about your creative agency is that, again, the diversity and the output and what you guys are able to put in the market to make accessible to people who are your fans. And one of the things you guys do are the prints.
Yeah,
and the
exactly.
prints have been very successful for you.
Yeah, the thing is, like, I never forget when I come from. Like, I come from a family of 7 kids. My father used to work for the mine in France. It looked like a Hollywood movie. But the thing is, like, even when we sell the t-shirts, if it's like $30, it's maybe like 3 hours of working from someone. Give them respect and give something affordable, but with good quality too. Ah, ça a refigé.
Oh, there we go. Can you hear me? Yeah, a little bit of bandwidth issue. I can't hear you, so I'll reboot. Let's try this again. Hi, we're back. Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's look like very stunned. And the thing, like, yeah, like we were saying, like, for sure, like, our canvases is a bit expensive, but we always thinking to make some prints with like very good like quality. And even in our print, if you look at it like on the collection, we make also like different size. So you can have a silk screen for $25, because like if you're young or if you don't have like the budget for, you can afford it. And it's not because it's $25 that you will have sheets. We make sure that people will have a good silk screen and very good quality.
One of your clients, Grosky, just texted that he just got his print delivered to San Francisco.
Oh, cool.
So I imagine he's happy.
Cool.
I don't know, Grosky, are you happy with your print? Let us know. So KLOR, in terms of the prints, the editions of print, how big is the series of prints that you have put out? So how many prints have you put out?
So like when it's like 4 colors, it will be 100. But like for this mixed mashup, it was like 9 colors. So it was more expensive, and I need to make 200 to make a good price for my clients.
So if that's the case, why not go straight to like a Gliqué print, a Gliqué, and just, instead of going for 9-color screens. What's the difference in quality for you?
Mm-hmm. It's not the quality cost of the printer. So if I want to make it's the same price, because people won't pay like 500.
Hi.
Yeah, since it's Saturday Night Fever, everybody's like clubbing.
Everybody's online right now.
What?
D Nice is clogging up the internet right now. But again, a part of the ethos of 123 Clan is quite beautiful, about accessibility, about sharing, you know, and you know, of course, you know, giving positive messages to folks, both, you know, through the artwork that you're making, but also the murals that you're making. You guys have such wonderful, playful murals. Tell me about the mural projects you've done around the world. You've been to how many countries?
Wow. Almost all of them, maybe except like Africa. We've just been in Morocco, like, but we've been like in Asia, USA for sure, but more like East Coast and West Coast. Last year we went for the first time in Kansas City. For sure, like Europe is easy because everything is near. So we were everywhere in Europe.
Je sais pas pourquoi la connexion est mauvaise.
Can you hear me? Hi.
Rebonjour.
Bonjour. Pardon the interruption, my friend.
Yeah, it's really bad. Like, so yeah, like Europe, like at the beginning we were traveling a lot in Europe because by car you can be in 3 hours in Germany, in Italy, it's very easy like to travel in Europe. And like, yeah, I think we paint some wall almost everywhere. Like,
You've painted one with my good friend Slick, the one that I'm showing now.
yeah, Slick is one of our best friends. He's such a good guy, and we love Tina too.
Yeah,
So like,
you know,
we paint many walls together, and each time we are in LA, it's because of Slick most of the time. And like we were together so in last power Hawaii, so we were very lucky to be in Hawaii last February, especially because of what we're living now.
so tell me, why don't we go there? Tell me how Corona is affecting you guys personally and your studio work. I know you've been very open about you know, Crohn's disease and you know, advocating for health, and here all of a sudden your world has changed, right? You're locked, you're confined. How are you
Yeah.
making use of this time?
The thing is, like, we are lucky to be a small company because once the Tree Clan, everybody like think like we are 20 people, but it's just 2 of us. Actually, guys, when you receive a postal, that's because I did the shipping. So the good thing about being a small company is like our studio is just 2 of us. So actually we can come every day, work at the studio. We never met our client most of the time. So like this situation didn't change anything. Actually, we're working also on a big project for video game called Roller Champions. So they hired us as an art director for the game. So it didn't change a lot, except like we can't travel anymore. We can paint with friends. So each time I can paint with friends, I paint on canvases. Oh yes, by the way, it's because of Montreal that I did beginning to paint on canvases. Because as you may know, Montreal is maybe 5 months of winter, and like there is no way to paint at that time, and I was so frustrating about not painting. And I think if we never moved to Montreal, bonjour.
Well, what a blessing, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, you know, as we wind down, I want to thank the people who are visiting us, but I also want to ask them to ask you questions. So guys, if you have any questions for KLOR or Cian, we can bring Cian in if you want. It would be great to hear from your fans.
Hi guys.
Bonjour.
So, how are your kids dealing with the lockdown?
Them so far is not so bad, I would say, but I think this generation is more online than us, you know, so it's usual for them to hang out with their friends online by simply playing video games and stuff like that. I think but it's still hard the other hand because they can't party, you know, so, but they say they will unlock down soon, so they might be okay.
Oui, le Gaulois, il est okay. So I saw a question.
Is it okay?
Yeah, I saw the question, but my French is, you know, rusty.